Here we go. So welcome to the Martin Talk Show. Okay. We're at Horrific, the Romford Film Festival. So guys, tell me, sorry, if you'd just like to introduce yourself first of all, and then tell me what brings you to the film festival.
Okay, so my name is Amy Mackie, and we're here for the premiere of Shiver Me Timbers because I play Olive Oyl.
Wow.
And I'm Paul Stephen Mann. I wrote it and directed it.
Mm-hmm. So Shiver Me Timbers. This is the Popeye horror.
That's the
movie.
Popeye horror movie. Horror comedy.
Yeah.
Horror comedy.
Yeah,
Okay.
very much comedy too.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I wonder how it could be done any other way.
Yeah, of course.
So Popeye, a character that's well known throughout the world, recently copyright free.
It just fell into the public domain.
In the public domain.
Yes.
And so you've taken this opportunity to do something new with this character.
Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
So tell me about the film then.
Oh, Amy, you take this one.
So yeah, it's about a group of friends, and they go on a camping trip to see Halley's Comet. And you know, it's meant to be a fun night, some drinks, you know, and watching the stars, watching a once in a lifetime opportunity. Mm-hmm. And things go horribly wrong, without having too many spoilers. And then, yeah, it's sort of centered around how their night actually takes quite a dark turn, let's say.
in a very comical way.
Yes.
It also takes place in the 80s. It's like a nod to the VHS generation, the video nasties, the films you would rent in a video store back before the internet. You know, you'd go in and there'd be all the Texas Chainsaw, but then you get the fun ones, the Toxic Avenger.
Yes.
You know, Ghoulies, Critters, all these kind of films. Mm-hmm. It's very much a big nod to that.
So why did you decide to do that? Why did you decide to set a character like Popeye in that universe, in that space?
Because those are the films I love. Mm-hmm. You know, that's my generation. I was around when the video nasty list was, you know, created.
Yes, yeah.
I was renting the Texas Chainsaw when I was 12 years old before I banned them all, you know. So I was wanting to go back to that. And Popeye kind of fits because it was another thing I was seeing when I was a child was Popeye. So it makes me think back to all of that. And Popeye, in my opinion, I wasn't going to do a film where Popeye was a serious monster because it's Popeye. Mm-hmm. You know, so when I thought of all the comedy horrors, they all kind of come from that era. Toxic Avenger, you know, you've seen that.
Yes,
you know, Class of Nukem High. And that's the reason we decided also the 80s. That was when I was a kid, you know.
Yeah. So there's kind of like there's a nostalgia vibe around the 80s, isn't there?
Oh, huge.
That works quite well at the moment. I guess Stranger Things kind of kick-started that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, very much so. Yeah, I mean, I think the 80s are kind of back in fashion right now. Really.
Yeah, they're pretty. You know, it was a pretty cool era when we look back on it. I think
when I was cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm sad I missed it.
So tell me about your character then, Olive Oyl. Then, how is your character different from the Olive Oyl that we know already?
So yeah, she's very different. So she is like a goth girl for a start, and she's very smart. She got into MIT. That doesn't mean she goes to MIT, but she does get into MIT, and yeah, she knows her stuff about like the stars. She knows about stuff. She's like a future scientist, and then she goes through this night, and obviously everything she goes through totally changes her, and then she becomes this like, you know, scream queen, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
She turns into Sigourney Weaver.
So you really have taken like characters and influences from your past, and you've had this opportunity to like feed and create this new thing.
Yeah, I mean, the film is peppered with in-jokes, lines from famous movies, and things. I mean, I'm not going to ruin it for you.
No.
But if you watch the trailer, there's two right in there, you know, where I'll tell you one.
Come on.
The license plate on the car is like from Elm Street. You know, it's the license on the car there. Little things like that all the way through. And they're movie buffs. So they're constantly quoting movie clips to each other. You know,
of that time.
Of that time.
Yes, yeah.
There's a line in the film where one girl goes, I just saw the Terminator on, you know, I rented it. And another girl goes, oh, they're making a sequel, you know, because it was set in 86. So the sequel wasn't out yet, you know, so they're very much in, that's where it's at.
Yeah. Oh, this is exciting. You're selling this to me already. Because this is my favourite time in filmmaking.
Oh, it's the best.
The 80s. They're all the films that have influenced my life. And it sounds very much like it has done for you as well. So I wonder if that's those kind of films what drew you into filmmaking.
Oh yeah, that's all I was about when I was a kid. I used to buy all the magazines because that's what there was no internet.
No, of course.
So I'd be going around to before Forbidden Planet even hit the UK. I was going to a place in Edinburgh, the science fiction bookshop, buying the American imported Starlog, Cine Fantastique, Fangoria,
Yes, yeah.
And that was all exciting because that's all you had. And then you hoped the film would come, or you'd be in the video store renting the Video Dead. And I was lucky because when I was 12, 13, the Video Nasty list hadn't even been created yet. So I got to see when I was 12, 13, I was renting Texas Chainsaw, Driller Killer, Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. And then obviously all the American films were coming. So all the trauma films, all the rip-offs. We had Gremlins, and all of a sudden you had Trolls. And, things like that. I mean, a lot of the posters out there at this festival are from what I was renting first time round.
Yes, yeah.
So
how did that? I wonder how that informed you as a filmmaker. Then all those kind of films and what that's done for you, because the Video Nasty list got created kind of to protect a generation, I guess is why they put it together. But I've found from myself that some of the films that I shouldn't necessarily have been watching haven't necessarily had a bad and negative influence on me.
No, not at all. I mean, it was ridiculous, the Video Nasty list. It was ridiculous. Today, we see worse stuff on the news at 5 o'clock than what was in those films.
Yes, yeah.
And when you watch them back now, you laugh because you can tell it's claymation, paper mache, stuff like that. But back then, there was no reference point. And you got these crazy, I don't want to say, but Bible bashers who kicked off a storm.
Yeah.
And thought they should tell us what to watch and not to watch those. It was because there was no rating system. Because video was such a new technology, they didn't have a way of policing it.
Yes, yeah.
Of course, once they created the list, they created a rating system for
so should we, what I'm trying to get at is, should we be protecting people from stories? I guess there's some children that are going to be a bit susceptible to it, and it could be dangerous, but not necessarily all. Is that somewhere? Is that... It's quite a difficult question to answer, but that's where I'm going with this at the moment.
And I'm a bad guy. I say let everybody watch what they want, no censorship. I mean, I was living in the States when I was like 16, and it was a completely different vibe. You could just go in and everything was available. And
yes, yeah.
The only stuff that you would maybe get questioned on was not horror. It was on the top shelf back in the States,
Yeah,
I mean,
behind a curtain.
Yeah. So, you could rent everything. And I just thought, it was crazy that we were policing it here. We talk about that in the movie, by the way. The kids talk about it.
Right, oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the kids comes back from the UK and you won't believe what I go to jail for having the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you don't even see anybody die. It's all put into your head with noises and stuff, So, yeah, I kind of did it as a big... Because I'll never forget when that list, it was Mary Whitehouse, the politician that put it into play. And that's just like my revenge on her, even though she passed away. I'm like, this is a big sort of FU to those people if they're still around. Watch my film.
It's just the silencing of storytelling, isn't it?
Yeah.
This storytelling in horror formats have been around probably since the beginning of time when we sat around campfires.
Exactly.
And we told each other these dark, nasty stories in a way to kind of teach us something and protect us. And so to kind of ban that and hide it, and to stifle it and to shut it down, where's the positivity within that?
And here's the thing. Nowadays, everything is rated. You have rating systems for video. Sky have their own rating system when they take a movie, as does Netflix and all these, So the BBFC only really handles cinema. In America, the MPA, their cinema. And now we have PEGI, which is for video games, the ratings. But the kids today are brought up in the internet generation and are way smarter than us on how to get around it.
Yeah.
They go online, they go on the dark web. So you're forcing them, as far as I'm concerned, you're forcing them onto the dark web or to get around a rating, and they're going to be exposed to a lot worse things in a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, whereas maybe just opening up the conversation is a good way to, if we're looking to protect, say, the youth from these kind of stories. Having a conversation around the films is maybe a better way to look after them.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the truth is I'm not looking to protect anybody. I just want them to see the movie.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. So if you could go back in time to your younger self and say to yourself, one day I'm going to be making a horror movie about Popeye and about the 80s and references to the film I love, how would that have made you feel?
I would have been chomping at the bit to get it out on the video. That's what I made. I made a film for my 15-year-old self.
Yes.
Yeah. Just so you know, this film is not scary. You're not going to come in. If you're looking for a scary...
This sounds like a fun film.
That's exactly the word.
Yeah.
Fun. If you're looking for a scary movie, go see something else. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for lots of incredible over-the-top gore and fun, this is the movie for you. You know, this is the film.
And how was it for you making this film? What kind of experience did you have?
Honestly, it's been the best experience of my life. Like, honestly, everyone on set just, like, we actually only shot the thing in 10 days, believe it or not.
Wow.
I mean, we had a few pickup shots after that a few months later, but, like, the actual filming itself was 10 days. And it feels like, looking back, like a year of my life, because in those 10 days, you formed such bonds with everyone so quickly. Everyone on set just became like a little family.
Amazing.
And it was honestly brilliant. And like, honestly, I mean, Ollie's like my dream role. And the fact I got a role like that within a year of graduating as well, like I never would have expected to actually get here. So, I mean, in a film, never mind a lead role, like, and being like the goth girl as well. Like, it's been a dream, to be honest.
Yeah, it's amazing how like acting careers can go all over the place, can't they?
Yeah.
Like I've had a bit of a career in acting, and some minutes you can be going on a high, some minutes you can be on a low, and some minutes they can just explode out of nowhere into a place like this.
That's so true. I know. Yeah. I remember when I got the part, I kind of for a long time thought Paul's kind of having me on here. This like it doesn't feel real, and now I guess it's only starting to feel real now. Like with this whole festival and stuff. It's really starting to hit.
And so this is the premiere.
Yes.
At this festival.
The world premiere.
The world premiere.
Yeah, we had it yesterday.
Mm-hmm. So where to next?
It gets released in USA and Canada on the 1st of April. It's going to the cinemas, I believe, in Pakistan. It's just signed a deal for Japan. We're negotiating with India. It's just getting picked up everywhere. But the agents in America... you know, we've had the offers for the UK and everything, but they're holding back because they want it to come out there first.
I guess waiting to see audience reaction. Is that
well?
what it
We've
is?
had the offers here, but they're thinking it's going to come out there, and we might get better offers here. The UK's got a bit of a snobbery about it, you know. Yeah.
So strategic,
yeah. But with Japan is in the can, Pakistan cinema is in the can, USA's done. Canada's done, and they're talking right now to South America. So it's going to go all over the world.
We're living in an interesting time with movie making at the moment, where a lot of these copyright materials are becoming available for characters that we love. We just had Winnie the Pooh, didn't we? Was a big one that did horror, and now we've got Popeye. We had Mickey Mouse, or a version of Mickey Mouse.
Yep, the Mousetrap.
Steamboat Willie. So he's not Mickey Mouse, is he? Steamboat Willie.
It is Mickey Mouse, but, it's the very first version. Of Mickey Mouse.
So why do you think it is that these characters, they're coming into public domain and they're going straight into horror?
Because I mean, they're, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to make it, you know, because it's filmmakers. We're exploiting these characters, let's be honest, you know? And it's fun. You know, what are you going to do? You're going to take Mickey Mouse and turn him into like a hero that it doesn't work.
Or that we've seen a million times before.
Yeah, like a hero, you know. When I say, okay, well, let's turn him into a monster. It just works.
Doing the complete opposite of where the character has been before.
Yeah, and Popeye... Let's be honest, the original Popeye was an angry drunk. All he did was punch people. You know what I mean? In our film, Popeye, we kind of abandoned the sailor look. He looks more like Rambo Popeye.
Okay.
You know? He starts off as an old man. And like I say, it takes place during Halley's Comet, which was in 86. And a fragment of the comet turns him into like Rambo Popeye. He's very angry and pissed off. And
does he eat spinach?
That was. We don't have spinach because there was a lot of can we or can't we, because that came years later.
So you're moving into territory.
See, there's still trademarks in place. So even though he's fallen out of copyright, for example, Superman's going to fall out of copyright in a few years.
Yeah. We've only got about 10 years left of it being.
Yeah, and you won't be able to put the big S on some horror monster.
No.
They've got that trademarked, and that's forever, as long as you're trading. So the spinach came around about World War II. Prior to that, he got his powers from this rooster, Bernice, that he would pet.
Okay.
And it would give him superpowers. There's a Bernice in our film too, if you watch the trailer.
Well, can I add a trailer to the end of this conversation?
Absolutely. Make sure you get the full one.
Yeah.
There's two. You want the one with the Popeye reveal.
With the Popeye reveal.
Yeah, where he's I'll show you the one.
Yeah, we'll make sure we link all that in.
Because there's also a teaser that came out last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for you as a filmmaker, then beyond this film, are you looking to anything else next?
We're about to start gearing up for the second one.
The sequel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, people want it.
It's in demand.
Yeah.
And without giving anything away of this film, where do you see the sequel going?
Crazier, more mental.
Nice.
He won't be alone.
And I'm guessing more fun as well.
Oh, bigger. Now
100%.
people believe.
Yes.
Because everybody's making a movie, but nobody's making a movie. So we were talking about it. Then we made it, and it started creating traction. All of a sudden, people are like, "Okay, let's do the sequel."
Yeah, nice. And I think with horror films, we want sequels, don't we?
Oh yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, exactly. You can go in any direction with it.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of characters in that universe. We still can't use Bluto. He's still under copyright for a couple of years.
Right. Okay.
But a few of the other famous characters are up for grabs.
Like I say, I'm finding this a really, really interesting time. These characters that they're ours now to play with.
Oh yeah,
and we can put them in any playground we like, can't we?
Yeah, totally.
And so, did you look back at Olive Oyl? Did you look back at the source material, or did you go in just with what the scripts offered you?
So I did look back at the source material, but I didn't look into it too much because I didn't, I wanted to make her a whole new take on the character. So obviously I did refresh my memory for reference, but I didn't want to get too attached to that because I wanted to, make it my own and Paul's take on Olive Oyl as well. So it was a lot of my own research and Paul's guidance went into.
I gave her homework.
Oh yeah, I had so much homework, but it was the best homework. It was, watching videos from like the Video Nasties and stuff.
Nice.
I did a lot of my own research about, what was going on in 1986, like what was really going on in her life at that point. And I think a bit of my own homework I gave myself was I made music playlists, and that was a really good way to get into her head. So I actually made two. So I made one for, like, I wasn't allowing any songs past 86, and then I made a modern one of just, I was going about my daily life and I was like, you know what, I could relate this to Ollie so much, and I listened to that as well, and I wouldn't let myself listen to anything else when I was preparing for the role. And then on sets as well, driving to from sets, it was all that playlist just to really get into her head and like link that. I do it for all my characters, and I find it such a good way to just get into their head because I relate to music so much.
Why are you doing that? Why, because I guess from an audience perspective, you see the character in the film, you see what they're going through. It's all pre-planned through the script and through the story. Why are you going that deep into a character?
I think that's just one of my favorite parts of playing a character. I have to know everything. Like, one of the first things I do is I look up 100 questions of a character, and I make sure I answer every single one of those questions. So I can just see their whole world. I've got to really be in it and to get my teeth into it to really be there. So it's one of my favorite parts of acting, just really embodying someone else.
So you're doing that kind of doing it for yourself.
Yeah,
so
that's
you can
just
enjoy this experience and get the most out of it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. So.
And does that resonate with you, Paul? Whereas when you say you're giving them homework to do, it sounds like to me you're trying to make the actors think.
Yeah, well, not so much think, just check this out. This is what this person did. One of the films I gave her that made her really watch was Texas 2, not the first one.
Okay.
First one's a very serious movie. The second one's ridiculous. It's fun. It was almost like a comedy version of the original. It's just over the top. So that have you seen Texas 2?
I haven't. No.
Oh, have you seen Reanimator?
No. Oh, Reanimator. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The craziness of
crazy.
it all.
Yes.
Yeah. So these are the kind of films I was making her watch. I didn't want her to watch The Ring. I didn't want her to watch The Exorcist. No way. We're not making that.
No. You were staying away from that. Yeah, that serious.
Yeah, no.
That kind of films that are grounded. This is not a film. Doesn't sound to me like a film that's grounded in reality.
No, it's absolutely ridiculous and fun. Yeah.
Fantasy, escapism.
Yeah, people come in. We had the screening last night, you know, and it went really well, by the way. We had the biggest turnout so far. You know, that was great. And the laughs were all there in the right places.
Yes.
Which, let me tell you something, that was the hardest part. Writing the horror was easy. Getting the laughs is not easy.
No. There's an art to that. There's a technique to finding that laugh, isn't there?
And the references, you know, because this is the first time a horror audience has seen it. So I was worried about those references because nobody was catching on that wasn't horror.
Yes, of course.
But then all of a sudden,
you're in this space at a horror festival,
and everybody
and
got
connecting.
Everything. So I made her look at. The music I was suggesting was Susie and the Banshees.
Yep.
Bauhaus, Concrete Blonde. A lot of women singers and stuff. You know, the look is kind of based a lot on Susie. And that was the kind of thing. You know, I didn't want to take it too seriously.
No.
You know, almost a bit tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Great, yeah. No, and is it showing again here at the festival?
No.
I missed the premiere.
You missed the premiere.
I missed my opportunity.
Yeah.
So how am I going to get to see this film?
Well, it's going to be coming out.
It is
here.
going to come out
100%.
Yes, you're just waiting for the right moment.
We've had the offers, but the guy's holding out for a better offer.
So what happens then with a character like this that is public domain now? What's going to happen if someone else is making a movie about Popeye?
Well, there already is.
Is that a concern
One's already
for you
out.
at all?
Not at all, because a lot of the public domain films that have already come, the Winnie the Poohs, the Mousetrap, they're all deadly serious. You know, I mean, they're kind of funny in a different way, but they're taking it seriously. Like, it's not a joke.
Yes, yeah.
Where ours is deliberately
You know what
goofy.
you're doing here.
Yeah.
And, you know, when she comes out to kill Popeye or have a fight or whatever, it's all, you know, it's all ridiculous. It's like, you know, the weapon is a saw. It's bigger than her.
I know.
You know, it's like it was suspended on a forklift. It was so big. She couldn't lift it.
No.
Oh, well, wonderful, guys. I really appreciate you sharing with me today.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me about the wonderful experience you've had with this film. And I very much look forward to seeing Popeye. It sounds like just the word that resonates with me is fun.
Yeah.
And I love that from horror. I
Yeah.
really do. So so well done for putting that into the genre. And thank you.
And thank you for having us.
And,
Thank you so much.
If anyone has been watching or listening, thank you for joining us. But actually, one last question before I go, it's come to mind. Where do we find you guys if we're interested in finding out a bit more about you?
We're Alpake Entertainment, ALPAKE Entertainment. You can just find us online, just alpakeentertainment.com.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And yourself as an actor, are you?
I would just say socials, I guess. You know, Instagram. It's just my name, Amy Mackie _X, and IMDb, Facebook, whatever. All the socials. It's just Amy Mackie. So.
Wonderful. Thank you, Amy and Paul. Appreciate
thank you.
it. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much.
And now, the full trailer for the Popeye comedy horror film, Shiver Me Timbers.
Meet Olive Oyl. She's got it all. Great friends, a loving brother,
Such a nerd, Ollie.
a promising future. But tonight, all that's about to change. Because tonight, on the night of Halley's Comet,
Meteor!
the world's most famous sailor man
They're evil!
will transform into a monstrous Slayer man.
Old sailor dog!
That jerky guy scared me.
This film's got sex.
Give me some sugar, baby.
This film's got drugs. And rock and roll.
Nobody's killing anybody around here. I'm telling you, when you're gone, you're gone.
See Popeye the Slayer Man in Shiver Me Timbers.
Well, blow me down.